What is up, everyone, and welcome back to Retro Review, that section of the channel where we review the games of the last generation in all their glory. Some of these are going to end up being games that are re-released, but doesn't take away from their former glory. So, Far Cry. For those of you who don't know, Far Cry, the entire anthology has been considered a commercial success. I think that Ubisoft does a pretty good job with their games, but the original Far Cry essentially came out as an open world game, first-person shooter where you go and, take on a big baddie that has, control, and you're essentially, in some form or fashion, reassuming control of the island that you're on, similar to, a map in Dynasty Warriors, but not to the same capacity, and the strategic, thought process of it isn't quite as played out. But it was introduced to premiere the Cry engine, I believe, from Crytek. Very, very, monumental engine that came out of its time, which, really took off in success with the series Crisis. So, none of the games have really any, interconnected story, but, they've released periodically after the other, and Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon is a standalone expansion to the Far Cry 3 game. So it was originally released on the PlayStation 3. So today you can see we got Far Cry 3 Classic Edition Blood Dragon. Let's go ahead and get to it. Was, remastered and re-released on the PlayStation 4. So as you can tell, we're going to be covering the PlayStation Edition, as is indicated by the press X button there on the bottom. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in. Alright, so we're basically at the very end of the game here in this playthrough. So before going and jumping into that, I'm going to go ahead and show you roughly what we got going on in the game in and of itself. That way you guys have a good understanding of it. So, as you can see, my guy has one cybernetic arm here on the left side, and it looks like a pretty retro-futuristic weapon that I got equipped, which is essentially a assault rifle. To be completely honest, this game feels a lot like a Duke Nukem game in that it is a satire parody of a lot of things, but not sacrificing the awesomeness that was the synthwave of the 80s and the action hero-esque thing. Interesting fact I didn't know is the person who originally played, the person who played Kyle Reese in the original Terminator is the one who voices this character, which I found to be funny, considering the fact that this game looks, feels, and even the story itself is almost a bit of a tribute to the Terminator games in so much of what it encompasses, but then there's so many other elements in there. Now, if you're familiar with the Far Cry games, this will look pretty familiar to you. Island, bases, and such, garrisons, or what have you, that you'll liberate and all that goodness over time. This entirety of it essentially is open world. If you can get to it, you can scale it, right? There'll be some places difficult, like mountains you'll slide down and all that other good stuff. Another feature here is these different types of animals. So, if you are someone who's a hunter, you'll hunt down each of these different types of animals, and each one requires just a slightly bit different way of taking it down. Some are predators, some aren't. All of them will attack you when provoked in some capacity. Some are more aggressive than others. The thing that I felt was really funny was the ostrich looking thing here. Honestly, each one of these is some form of cybernetic or mutated variant, and so it's pretty interesting. But as I mentioned, like, there's tributes to other games, and so what that essentially looks like is, if we go here to our data console and we come over to research data and we look at our wildlife. All right, so black and white tiger, Siberian tiger, right? Essentially, like, you know, this was very popular, like, into the 90s, you know, same with wolves and such. And like a big throwback here, the white tiger. And it's funny, they each have like their little things that describes them. But yeah, this thing is beastly. The next movie that I seen, or franchise I seen, that was kind of like ripped out or away from was this right here, blood dragons. So these are like giant Komodo dragon type things and whatnot, but they shoot fire from their eyes, or lasers, which kind of just felt reminiscent of like Godzilla to me. So, you know, maybe you guys have different like ideas, but you know, that's kind of what it felt like it pulled from there. And you got this boar which has graffiti with the word sucks sprayed upon its back, but it's literally every single one of them. Found that kind of humorous. Cyber panther, cyber shark, it's like a Jaws, like, you know, pull. A devil goat, I mean, satanic cult, I guess. I mean, it looks more like a zombie, I don't even know. I found this by accident, but there's a moray eel. They just attack you while you're in the water. Manta ray doesn't really do anything. It's just kind of shiny. Mutant buffalo, another little zombie guy. Mutated cassowary. So, like, yeah, this ostrich-looking thing and whatnot. This thing is aggressive as heck, and it is... It's funny, you know, you're just kind of roaming around and then you see this thing like coming after you and you're like, what in the world? So yeah, just be wary of that moving about. Turtles, mutated turtles. So Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, this was very much a, like, you know, pull from that. The first time you see them, discover them's in the sewers, pizza boxes everywhere, but unfortunately it's literally just a, you know, giant turtle, and they just kind of like do some traps on you to kind of like take away your health, but other than that don't really offer anything. But the satire, the pull, the influence, it's there. Then you got these neon snakes, robo crocs, and robo dogs. You find these guys like mainly around enemies. All right, so collectibles that you can get throughout the game, and you know, collecting so many collectibles is going to get you some rewards, like you'll see on the bottom here, like 9 out of the 32 television sets, double barrel upgrade for your shotgun, and then 18 of the 32 you get a quad barrel. So if that's something that interests you, if you're a completionist like I am, you will, you know, look for these and then you can reap the benefits of your rewards. Yeah, this is a very like older style television and whatnot. Definitely some influence pulled from the generation that influenced it. Another interesting thing here, Carlisle's notes. It's pretty typical, like some mad scientist. Nothing, yeah, it's interesting to read, but doesn't add a whole lot to the story in any way. It's just something to do as a side quest, if you will, which interestingly enough, every single time you collect these, your character, like, the game is a satire comedy, like, in and of itself, to where the character will literally make comments that you yourself may be thinking. Like, for instance, when you first encounter the birds, like, you have to kill the birds because they're just being jerks, I guess, if you will. And your guy is like, how is this even a mission? And to be honest, that was like the thought I was thinking too. I'm like, seriously, I'm trying to save the world. Like, I'm a cybernetically enhanced like human being, and I'm killing birds. Okay, that just kind of seems whatever. So it was good to hear like that the character felt the same way, if you will. All right, so, and then you got VHSs to plug into your old TV and whatnot. Same thing, collect them all. Collect so many, you get rewards. And then one thing I found really interesting that, you know, you'll see when you play the game, like in the very beginning, after you drop down into the world, like you're given a tutorial, as is typical, but like it goes overboard with essentially like just being like playing in on how annoying forced tutorials can be, to the point where the NPC or the player character that you're playing with is like, you know, commenting on it, and it's great. It makes the tutorial campaign a whole lot more enjoyable. All right, so there's so many like influences, but like this last one is probably the best. You can kind of get it when you see this portal here and the way that it looks. But before we go ahead and do that, let's go and look at what we got. So here is your weapons wheel. You can only carry 4 main weapons at a time. 2 of them not featured in here is a minigun. Big Terminator influence, also very popular, like, you know, thing in the 80s. And then a flamethrower, another big thing. And you got essentially the things that you see most in pretty much any other game. All right, you got your bow. That's going to be your super stealthy option. Forgot to mention there's also a pistol that can get a silencer, helps with stealth. You got your sawed-off shotgun, which you can upgrade to quad barrels. Looks just like this. This thing is pretty gnarly, and then the upgraded ammo is fire rounds, which is nice. Here's what the bow looks like. It has no upgrades, but the thing is fantastic for sneaking around. Here's your assault rifle you seen earlier. Upgrade pretty much everything on it. The ammunition upgrade is laser rounds, and then you got your sniper rifle. Upgraded ammunition is explosive rounds, which is phenomenal. So you have the ability to, like, you know, make your weapons, at least your primary weapons that you start off with, like, better. And then you have remote controlled mines, Molotovs, but they call them Moltoxes, and then fragmentation grenades. And you can employ any of these to your leisure, with the exception of certain missions will require you to use certain weapons against the main baddie you're hunting down. And then outside of that, like, you're good. Down here on the legend, you got your typical little mini map. The long line singular right underneath it with a little bit of blue there is your armor. So it's not like that sticks around in any way or regenerates. You have to collect armor throughout the game or purchase it. Down below that is your health bar. So you'll see I'm missing like one little block. You start off like literally with one line, and as you progress through the game, like, you level up and then you get more and more. The character tree isn't necessarily like customizable in any sense. It's just every so many levels you go and you get additions or skills that are pre-selected by the game. So that's a little unfortunate. I would have liked a little bit more customizability, but you know, it is what it is. It doesn't really take away too much from the game in and of itself. Then you have Cyber Hearts, which is top right-hand corner right after the mini-map there. So these essentially are just kind of like little bait things for the blood dragons. It's a good way to kind of like get them off your butt and then, you know, last a little bit longer. 99 is apparently the amount you can have, so you can like pull out more than 99, but you're only ever going to cap off at 99. And then underneath that is your medical stims, so essentially your health packs, and then you got your little objective cursor. Mortal Kombat. That was the influence. Alright, here we go. And
Doc, I think I'm ready.
Prepare for combat!
here we are.
Whoa.
New weapon located.
What is this? Pistol. Excellent. Alright. Looks like we got some enemies.
Running
Not
dead.
sure what we got. Here we go. Little zombies.
Running dead. Outbound.
So you got your melee attacks that you can do.
Shoot the running dead in the
Clearly
Hello. I've killed them
not
before.
as effective against the running dead. I thought that. Alright, what do we got? Some more. Oh no. Alright. Let's get a little more serious.
Jesus, how many are there?
Alright. Line them up.
You've done well so far, but this is just the beginning. Prepare!
There's a little crocodile.
I have located an exit.
I mean, it's cool that I have unlimited rounds. Alright. Took my weapon away. Alrighty.
Detected a new weapon.
Here we go. I guess we'll get to show off each one of these.
Claim your prize. The dead have awaited this too. Eviscerate.
Come on. Oh, jeez. Ooh, not what I wanted to do. Come on, man. Reload. So much better with the...
More enemies inbound.
Is there a sale on dead guys?
The only thing that I do not like about the shotgun is the reload time. I think it actually says about that too, as like a fun little thing about it. Let's go ahead and reload. Alrighty. I knew it. Come on. And we'll reload, and we'll reload, and we've reloaded. Alrighty. Get out of here. Oh. Fire starter.
An exit has opened.
Not that it really matters, because they're gonna take it away, it seems like. Yep. Alright, on to the next one. Oh, here's our turtle. Ah.
New weapon detected.
Okay, what do we got? The sniper rifle. Ah, that is... Alright.
Detecting.
Go ahead and reload. Alright, let's do this. La la la. Alright. Third.
New weapon detected.
New weapon detected. Just when I was getting used to this one. Gotcha. Alright. So cool thing is, you can still boost up your health after you don't have a med pack anymore. Oh yeah, sweet. You get those fun little animations. There we go. Oh yeah. Bring it on. Finally.
Get some.
Come on. So it's kind of just essentially like worked out perfect where it's like I can show you what each one of these weapons does. Just by doing this little tutorial, or not tutorial, but the end of game sequence here.
Kill star detected.
Kill star. Oh no.
Almost in range of the kill star.
Yeah, look at me. Take the kill star.
I got the touch. I got the power, yeah!
If you enjoyed today's game and review, make sure to hit that notification bell so you are updated on when new videos drop on the channel. And if you would so kindly go ahead and hit that like and subscribe feature so that, again, updates, but then as well as to, you know, support this passion that we all share. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.